Welcome into this carrier update, Donny. You're going to start here looking just what inbound rail,
Compared to the last 4 years.
it's pretty healthy.
Yeah, I wanted to see where are we compared to the previous 4 years, because it always kind of helps people think about it and remember, hey, are we doing good this year? Are we doing bad? You say that I'm doing good, but really, do you take my word? Well, here we are.
Yeah.
So now, taken for granted, you see these drops. This is the holiday, but since Thanksgiving is the last Thursday of the month, this holiday moves around. Last year was the very last day of the month. This year was very early. But overall, if you see the light blue line here, we crossed. We've been kind of above the last 3 years. 2020 is the only year that's been above us, which for obvious reasons, that was the big boom. But we've stayed above the previous years besides 2020, and we're still above those years.
Yep.
So how's it looking? It's looking pretty good for the volumes on the rail.
Yeah.
And these will transfer into truckload moves.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
Now, they're probably not going to be long hauls, because they're taking care of the long haul part. It's going to be local to mid-haul, to mid-haul probably.
Yeah.
You're not even getting the tweener range. You're going to be probably within 500 miles of your pickup, and that's because, like you said, rail lines aren't everywhere.
Yeah.
We're in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We do not have a loading or unloading ramp for containers here in Chattanooga. They're going to be unloaded either in Calhoun, Georgia, or they're going to be maybe in Nashville or wherever else.
Yeah.
But they're not here in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Now we have a loading ramp for Komatsu.
Yeah.
They take them over to the rail yard, and there's a gravel ramp built so they can load. Obviously, since they're a big company and they have heavy equipment, they've made arrangements so Komatsu can load their diggers here in Chattanooga, but that's it. So just some history there for us. Go to the next line. These are total inbound domestic rail containers empty. Why do we want to look at this?
They're positioning containers.
They're going to put them back in the markets that they're going to load them in, where they're needed.
Yeah.
So they're going to move back on the rail. And of course, obvious, since these are domestic, these are not going on the boats. They're going to go back to LA, and they're going to take warehouses, and the warehouses are going to load those containers, throw them on the rail.
Chicago. That's the big one, right? But, well, in comparison, I mean, it's look at it these two in comparison to everything else, right? Like these two combined are bigger than probably every other market you have up here combined. It's not a surprise to see empty. Again, this is all the freight that's coming in to the ports. It's likely being transloaded or put in a warehouse and then moved at some point, like not going directly to the destination because they don't know where the destination is yet, right? They just want it in. That's why you're seeing this. That, very similar reasons. There's things in Chicago that have to move outward too, right?
Yes.
It's a lot easier to move a container, or say, if I have something going from Chicago to LA, it's a lot cheaper to stick it on the rail on that backhaul lane.
And they have plenty of empty containers of what they're already delivering.
Yeah, because they just want to get they want the container back here. If it comes loaded, great. If it comes empty, great. If it comes back loaded, even better, because they're making money on that now. So for them, they want to land containers. They want empty containers in here.
And this is all this is backhaul for the railroad as well.
Yeah, for everyone.
They need to get their engines back to LAX, so it all adds up and it pays dividends for everybody.
Yeah, then you look on the international side, this one's really not a surprise. Look at your largest inbound empties. LA again, but Vancouver, Savannah, Norfolk, Prince Rupert, all your export markets, all your port markets, they're landing empty containers back in these markets.
Put them on the boats to go.
Yeah.
But this is what I like. If you dig down into this data very deep, and I need to do this maybe for next week, you'll find Dillon, South Carolina.
Yeah.
You'll find Omaha, Chicago. And these are markets in here where somebody is loading international freight, and they're not, they're moving the empty containers to Dillon, South Carolina.
For a reason.
And somebody's going to load that and ship something international. So if you want to find those markets, be pretty neat to dig through this data as well.
Awesome stuff. As always, Donny, thank you so much for this update. Right now, we'll take a quick break, but we'll be back with more Freight Waves now.